I was there, and that was some mean shit, actually.
The interesting thing about mass transit was nobody in the locker room knew he was a wrestler until there was like a lineup sheet, and we saw the words mass transit, and we're like, who the fuck is mass transit?
Axel Rotten didn't show up. Something happened with his grandmother. So Devon didn't have a partner. Devon Dudley didn't have a partner. And this kid comes up with a tape saying that he's worked before, yada, yada, yada. He's a big boy, so he's like, well, you can take his place. And your job is going to be just getting there, you know, you're just going to be the piece of meat. You're going to beat the shit out of you. He's like, okay, no problem. But then he came back and he started telling me about all these different spots he wanted to do.
Mass Transit was a young guy. I think he was just excited. He had his family there, and he wanted to get some spots in.
And he's sitting there next to Taz, lighting up his cigarette, telling Paulie who he's going to be in the ring. And he's telling the Gangsters and Devon Dudley what they're going to do in their match. No, you sit there, you shut up, you listen, and, you know, hopefully, you know, you get invited back.
But then he came back and he started telling me about all these different spots he wanted to do. Then he said he wanted to get color, but he didn't know how to do it. He asked me would I do it. And I said, yeah, I'll do it. Gladly. So when the time came for him to get color, I cut the shit out of him. Now he didn't say this long or this long. He just said he wanted to bleed, so I cut him.
When he took it, he put his head down to sell it, and he's like, but when he looks up, he looks back down and realizes there's a puddle of blood this big. And the first thing he does is he looks down and then he grabs his head and then he does this a couple of times. And I mean, it wasn't funny, but it just kind of struck us as funny because when he looks down and he sees the blood and realizes how bad he's cut, he screamed like, you know, like a little girl. I mean, it looked like somebody kicked him in the balls real hard. You know, he had nothing but that high falsetto going on.
You can see his skull. You know how your skulls are like mended together? You can see it. I cut that boy deep. I cut the shit out of him. I had like a surgical scalpel. Everybody said it was like an X-Acto knife, whatever the hell that is. I had a surgical scalpel and I had on a piece of wood and I just cut him real hard, like, whoosh. And he bled. A lot.
It was odd because whenever they got back to the dressing room, New Jack had to scram. The cops were pissed, and they were the ones that were actually pressing charges.
I mean, as over the line as New Jack went, I mean, part of it, you know, could have been justified.
Any regrets about that whole incident?
I don't regret it. He hadn't been in the ring. I mean, fuck. I mean, they told me he was 20, and I found he was 17. That was not my fault. Do I regret it? No, I don't regret it. Welcome to the business.
Rolling out the door, the kid like grabs the door. He was dead, but then he comes alive, you know, and he grabs the door as he's rolling. No, Dad, I'm one of the boys. You know, and then they reel him out. We don't do that. You know, I was like, okay.
Then 9 months later, I was in court for aggravated assault, mayhem, aggravated assault with intent. They charged me with the same thing. It was worded 5 different ways, but it all meant the same thing. And they offered me 5 years, and we went to jury trial, and I got acquitted. Free like OJ, did it and got away with it. So that was that, bro.